Mountain, Island, Lightning Bolt, Spell Pierce, Switchblade, Stab Wound, Red Mage, Blue Mage. I have to start my timer.
Oh, your timer?
I have a stopwatch here so I can quickly look and see how long we've been recording.
I see.
And then last time I didn't start it for 7 minutes, so...
All right.
We're good this time.
Wow, look at you. Who are you?
Who gives a shit?
Well, I asked.
I'm Kenny. I play blue. I play blue cards.
Oh.
I tap islands.
Oh. Hi, I'm Amber, and I play red. I play red cards. I tap mountains.
Whew. This is Red Mage, Blue Mage.
Okay, enough of this.
All right, so let's get right into things today.
Yes.
I have a feeling it's going to be a real nasty one.
Why? I'm not prepared for nasty.
No, I think it's going to be good. we're gonna start right off the bat by picking cards. In fact, it's time to pick a card. You son of a bitch. Pick a card. Pick a card.
Son of a bitch.
And this week you came up with our prompt.
I did, because...
And it's definitely the most convoluted prompt
Shut
we've had
up.
so far.
It's so not. It's just pick your favorite non-legendary creatures, but you can't pick the same creature types. So they all three have to be your top of that creature type.
Huh.
But also your top creatures.
Huh. So we conceived of it differently then, a little bit, which is fine.
I was thinking my top three...
You were thinking
creature
your top
types.
3 tribes.
Yes.
And then your best creature of each of those tribes.
Yeah, or my favorite.
I didn't think of it that way.
I always say best. I don't like ranking things as best. I like favorites nicer.
Your personal favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because the way you originally pitched this to me was just your favorite creatures. And I was like, oh, I've got some good ideas. And then you were like, can't be legendary. And that literally killed most of my favorite creatures.
I want to pick the ones that don't get picked often.
Yeah, it's a great prompt. And then you added the other restriction, no repeat creature types, I think just so you personally would pick 3 goblins.
Because I would just pick 3 goblins, yes, that's true.
So instead I'm assuming you picked a goblin, an angel, and then who cares what the last one is?
What a goblin and angel would make if they had babies.
A changeling.
No, close. A ball of Play-Doh, maybe?
A putty.
Yes.
Continuing the putty theme from last episode.
Yes.
Okay, so do you want me to start? Or you want to start?
You start because I picked the topic.
Okay, good. So I'll give you a little hint, a little spoiler. It is a red card.
Whoa!
Yeah, my number 3 is a red card.
Oh well, of course it's the number 3 one. All right, can I open it?
So give it a click. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So my number.
I like my response, so I said, "All right, whatever."
Okay, whatever. So this actually, if you had told me, if I had understood this prompt the way you did, of pick your 3 favorite creature types, and then pick the best representation.
I'm sorry.
This one might have made it on the list anyway.
Okay.
Honestly, so this is a dragon. This dragon is Boggarden Hellkite. It costs 6 red. Steep.
Yeah, that's.
It has flash. So you can cast it anytime you can play an instant. Mm-hmm. It has flying. Of course, it's a dragon. It's a 5/5 dragon creature. And when it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets.
Nice.
Whew. And that is yummy getting my tummy. The thing I use this most often for is clearing your opponent's side of the battlefield.
Yeah.
It's like a plague wind.
Yeah.
For your side, and it leaves behind a 5/5 dragon to just bash them over the head at the end of it. This was a finisher in my Warp World deck. I've mentioned the Warp World card, where the idea was you littered the battlefield with permanents that make more permanents. Cast a Warp World, it randomizes all your cards, and you would drop a bunch of these Hellkites for free. They would kill your opponent's side of things. If you got enough of them, you could just fireball your opponent out with the Warp World. Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of combos I like with this card. I really love the art in it. This is another piece of art that almost made it to my top list when we were talking about art.
Yeah, nice. Who's artist?
Scott M. Fisher. Again, that swirly, amorphous background.
Yes.
I really like the idea of this is kind of like an apocalypse dragon. It was originally printed in Time Spiral, which was a set about apocalyptic events, and it's really, I don't know, it's a strange looking dragon. It's got a really weird looking claw, barbed claw. I like a lot about this card. What's your opinion on this card?
All right.
You don't really care for dragons, do you?
No, I don't.
Why not? You're a red player. Shouldn't you love dragons?
They're haughty and stupid.
They're too expensive.
They're way too expensive. Look at that. It's fucking goddamn 8 mana. Who has time for that?
Yeah, I was going to say.
6 is my cutoff.
If you're playing this card, you know you're not playing it fairly. You're cheating it in somehow.
Yeah.
You're doing some shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. That's my number 3.
Okay, so I picked this one. It's a black card. And you're smiling.
Mm-hmm. I know how you were introduced to this card.
It's the... how you say it? Phyrexian Obliterator, which is a horror. Again, if you mash an angel and a goblin together,
I guess that's true.
You'd probably get some sort of horror. And I like a lot of the horror stuff. Like I talked about early on, maybe even the first episode. I tend to swing red-black or red-white.
Yes.
And this guy, which looks like a Geiger.
It does look like a Geiger alien.
Costs 4 black.
Black.
Yeah, black. Sorry, excuse me. I'm not used to like.
Just to clarify, that's a weird mana cost.
Yeah, it's like 4 swamps essentially. Yep. And creature horror. It has trample, and it says whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. And he's a 5/5.
A 5/5 body.
And I like it because it's kind of like, well, obviously destruction. So if somebody tries to attack me, if I block, they deal damage to it, they're going to pay it. So they probably won't try to attack. Right. Especially because they would have to kill it a 5. So they would end up losing 5 damage. And I remember using it in a cube draft against Troy, where it was like he went to attack me with some ridiculous huge green, and I blocked with this guy, and it's like, oh, okay, destroy 7 permanents now. You have 6.
Get rid of
everything you have. Choose wisely.
Absolutely.
So I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It gives you that nice warm feeling in your chest when you have this guy on your side of the battlefield.
Yeah, it's kind of like along the same lines with like risk factor. I like it when you give people the option of hurting themselves.
Like you making people squirm.
Like you should maybe you should attack me. I mean, you could if you feel like you could take the pain. What? Don't shake your head at me.
As much as you talk about me being a bad person for playing blue, you are the sadistic one.
I don't think so. I think I'm just...
You want to blow up people's lands. You want them to suffer.
Well, don't we all? You do too.
At least I'm out with it. You're like, I'm the noble player.
I never said I was noble. I don't think that word has ever...
I've never said noble before in my life.
In regards to myself.
Fair. This is a very cool card aesthetically.
Yeah.
I feel like the mana cost, the art. This is actually a callback to an older card. I think it's called Phyrexian Negator.
Okay.
It was a 3 mana creature, 5/5 trample, but it had a drawback with the same ability. So it had, whenever this creature is dealt damage, you sacrifice that many. And so This is kind of a play on that where it's all upside.
And I just love that it only costs 4.
Yeah, if you're mono black, it's easy.
This is super nice.
Yep.
Behold, blessed perfection is a flavor text.
Shieldred.
Whispering one. Who the hell is that? Can't get into it. Tell me about it. Let's open a book right now. All right.
That'll be another time.
Okay, we'll move on. Your turn. Number 2. I gotta click it.
Number 2. Now we're getting back to my roots. We got a blue card. So this is Glenalendra Archmage. 3 and a blue for a 2/2 creature, a fairy wizard. It has flying, as you'd expect. Has an activated ability. 1 blue mana, sacrifice it, and you can counter a non-creature spell. And it has persist, which means when it dies, it comes back with a -1/-1 counter on it. Unless it already had one, and then it's just dead forever. So basically, you get 2 bites at the apple. You get a 2/2 flyer that can be sacrificed to counter a non-creature spell, and then you get one more chance at this. And this actually, it goes along with what I was saying about Phyrexian Obliterator, that nice warm feeling. I've mentioned I like feeling secure in general, but in a game of Magic, definitely. And when you put this creature on your side of the battlefield, you feel so safe. Because now all you have to do is hold up 1 blue mana, and what are they have to either just not play non-creature spells, which isn't really an option, or they just have to run non-creature spells into this thing, knowing it's going to fail, and knowing that the next one they do is also going to fail. And so now your only option is to play creatures, and oftentimes this is paired in a deck where you're picking off their creatures with black and white spells. So this is, it was a great prompt because it really got me thinking about what are the non-legendary creatures that I really like to cast, and I really like casting Glenelendra Archmage. It feels good to land this on your side.
The Fairy Wizard.
Yeah, just got little dragon.
I really like the fairy design that they did in Magic. It's really insectic.
Yes, insectoid. Yeah, I do too. It's got the weird inverted knees. It's got
wasps.
Yes,
it looks very wasp-like.
Yes, that is a good analogy. And wasps are great for making something appear alien as well. Yeah, it's great.
Most things on planet Earth are pretty alien looking.
Yes. This is another cube card that yum.
All right, you ready for mine?
I'm more than ready. I'm prepared.
You already know what it's going to be, or at least a type.
I mean, probably. Okay.
So it's Sarah's Guardian. As we've learned last episode, not only does she make angels, but she has angels specifically to wipe her ass, and that's Sarah's Guardian.
To wipe her ass, to fan her down, make her bed. What does this angel do for
put
her?
lotion on her. Hold on, put lotion on her knees. Okay, now I can say what she does. So, Sarah's Guardian, angel card. Costs 4 colors, white. So 6, my max cost where I feel comfortable paying for something. Yes. Flying, of course, angel. Vigilance. And when she's on the field, other creatures you control have vigilance as well.
Yes.
And she's a 5/5.
So she has
pretty nice.
2 of your all-time favorite mechanics.
Yes!
And she gives one of them to all of your creatures.
Yes! I love it. And the art's beautiful. God, all the angel cards are just Maxfield Parrish-esque. Beautiful clouds.
I love the colors in this one.
Yeah, it's very rainbow.
It's actually, now that I look at it, it's very red and blue.
Oh no! You didn't see that. It's got green in there.
That's adorable. And it's a tribute to us, to Red Mage, Blue Mage.
Okay, so anyway,
It's such a beautiful tribute. I'm crying. You're crying.
I wonder if there's an angel that collects Sarah's tears. Probably. Anyway, her flavor text says she watches over the city just as Sarah watches over all. Well, if Sarah watches over all, what's her purpose?
Yeah.
She made an angel with no purpose. Again, I don't like Sarah. The end. But I like her guardian.
Yeah, and Sarah, she lets herself be worshipped as a god even though she's not one.
Fuck.
Yikes.
Anyway. But I like her guardian. And that's my second pick.
It's not the Guardian's fault that she was made by a psychopathic.
I'm gonna free her.
She works for you now.
This is my fan fiction.
You know, you play a planeswalker in a game of Magic. So now you're making this angel to serve you.
Wait, what?
You've become that which you hate most.
I'm not a planeswalker.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm never.
If you play Magic.
I refuse. If a planeswalker doesn't walk planes, are they a planeswalker? What if I refuse?
You do walk planes, though.
What if I sparked and I just sparked back right to where I was at?
So you didn't go anywhere?
Yes. Or I just sparked and I was so sad when the tragedy struck that I sparked to the freezer where there's ice cream.
Is a bird if it never takes to the sky?
No, it's a feathery rock.
A rock is a kind of bird.
That's the name of this episode. That was really good. Okay. Anyway, what's your number 2? Are you gonna write it down?
Yes, of course.
A rock is a kind of bird. Which is perfect because we were talking about creatures and creature types.
Oh my god. Okay, so speaking... Yeah. This is a great segue, actually. So, speaking of birds, let's get to my number 1 pick. Oh,
no! Is it Wade's...
It's not a bird.
It's not a bird at all!
Well, speaking of rocks, it's an artifact.
I guess, but it's not even made out of rock!
Not bad. So, my number 1 non-legendary creature is Stuffy Doll. I have been in love with this card ever since I first saw it. So this is 5 mana for an artifact creature, a construct. 0/1. What's not to love about those stats?
Yeah.
As it comes into play, as it enters the battlefield, you choose a player. Whenever Stuffy Doll is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to the chosen player, and you can tap it to do 1 damage to itself. Which I love weird text on cards, and deal a damage to itself is wonderfully weird. But
then it would just immediately destroy itself, right?
It's indestructible.
That's right. I missed that second line. That's evil. So you were just dissing me for being evil, but this is horrible.
It's great.
This is a voodoo doll.
Yeah, so
it's a curse.
The art is definitely, it's invoking voodoo doll. It's like a little sack painted doll with a bunch of pins with human faces on it. And it very evocatively captures what a voodoo doll does. Like, you damage the doll and it hurts the person that it's an effigy of.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is really cool. It's weird. I like weird. And it's very combo-rific. I mean, 1, if you play this on your side, it's the perfect blocker, right?
Yeah.
Like, somebody attacks, like, you were talking about someone attacking or blocking with their 7/7.
Yes.
If you do that here, it deals 7 damage to your opponent.
Right.
Which is cool. And I've already mentioned the combo that I liked with it, which was Pariah's Shield, which is an equipment that makes it so that any damage I would take goes to the Stuffy Doll, which then goes to my opponent. So now I can't take damage.
All right. Okay. Great.
Why do you hate everything that I do and everything I love?
So complicated. It's so complicated, and it's so...
What's complicated about that?
It's just too much to keep track of. I got a shield, I got a doll, I gotta think about where damage is coming and going from.
You don't have to think about anything.
I do. I have to think about a lot of things.
You don't have to think... Because the thing is, like, that combo, as interesting as it is, once you put the shield on Stuffy Doll, you just don't get attacked anymore.
You know what? That's fine. Yeah. That's all well and good for you.
So I know that when I play against you, I just have to put enough cards with enough text on the battlefield that you'll just concede.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you're 100% right. In fact, I'm like, most of the time I'm like, just tell me what happens. I don't care what you're doing. Just tell me the end result.
Move the cards around enough in a circle, and you'll like start to sway and get dizzy.
Yes, exactly, dizzy, and like and then just kind of maybe start to rage. Okay, so speaking of raging, we'll come to my top pick. So I had 2. I had a runner-up.
So are we looking at the runner-up first?
Yeah, which is the one on the bottom. All right, so runner-up.
Okay.
It's just my guys I talked about.
Can we have a little intervention here?
Why? So What's wrong?
We originally started with pick a card, right?
Yes.
And then we were like, you know what? We want to talk about a runner-up, so let's just make it a top 3 list so we can open it up a little bit. And now, like, you're like the mouse who's been given a cookie. Now you want 4 on every single list.
No, I just have a runner-up to my top one.
Every time.
It's just one. Not every time. This is the first time I've done this.
Fans?
Pretty sure.
We know that's not true.
2 fans.
No. They're out there. They're loving it.
Yeah, all right. Well, anyway, so my runner-up, without further ado, is Legion Loyalist.
Yes.
Or Legion Whatsums is what I said last episode. Only cost exactly 1 red.
Yep. And
it's a Goblin Soldier. See, this has an added thing to it. It's a Goblin Soldier.
2 creature types.
So it's 2 creature types. So I couldn't, yeah. Anyway, it's haste. What's nice about him is Battalion. Mm-hmm. Whenever Legion Loyalist and at least 2 other creatures attack, creatures you control gain first strike and trample until end of turn and can't be blocked by creature tokens this turn.
Yes.
Pretty sweet. Yes. But in the spirit of me and my favorite goblin of all time, because it is near and dear to my heart, it is very simple. Very simple. One of the first goblins I fell in love with. It's just the Raging Goblin. Again, a 1 red mana cost for a Goblin Berserker who has haste. That's it. He's a 1/1 haste goblin.
He's half of a goblin guide.
And I absolutely love just this pure, simple, sweet, stupid, raging creature. Just like me. There's like a kinship here.
Yes.
Okay. And I also love his flavor text so much. He raged at the world, at his family, at his life, but mostly he just raged.
That was you last episode.
It is. It's me all the time.
You every episode.
All the time. So yes, that's my top goblin. He's just my goblin, you know?
I really actually, genuine here, I respect this choice. In our very first episode, I was talking about those cards that were evocative to me and like really sold me on the game. This was one of those cards.
Yes.
And that flavor text was part of it. I love how thin and bird-like his arms are. Look at his arms in this art.
I know. Who's the artist? I can't remember who the artist is. I can't see.
Miracola?
Yes, Miracola. Jeff Miracola. So it's that iconic hands above the head with the axe.
Overhead
I guess
strike.
He's striking, tongue out, raging.
Very appropriate. Well, awesome.
He's my favorite.
That was good. I'll have to put some thought into your actual prompt you intended, which is like favorite creature types, and then what of them. Yeah, but I'll do that another time.
So like the horror one was for me. I didn't even do my runner up for that one, but the other would have been. The other would have been zombie.
Creature.
It's like either horror. Yeah, it's either horror or zombie. Yeah. And because I couldn't pick legendary creature zombie.
Yep.
I couldn't put Death Baron, so you know.
But Death Baron's not legendary.
Isn't he legendary?
Nope. You can have as many Death Barons as you want.
I'm dumb.
No.
I should have put zombie.
Death Barons. So Death Baron.
I take it back.
Death Baron goes in as number. Let's make Phyrexian Obliterator a runner up for number 2. Because why not? There are no rules. Pick as many cards as you want. Who gives a shit?
Can we go to the next segment, please?
We can. It's time to go on a trip. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Flavor Town. Home of the creamiest flavors inside the Berlin. I can't run. It is a Lurgoy. We're going.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. I got my seatbelt on.
All right. So
where we're going, we don't need seatbelts.
Wear your seatbelts, kids. Even if you're a red mage, you can wear a seatbelt.
Buckle up. Safety first.
So last time was your time to rage. I don't know that I'm going to rage about this, but I'm definitely passionate about this.
Okay.
So I watched a video recently from TCG Player on YouTube, and it was talking about the lore of the Eldrazi. I like the Eldrazi. I'm a big fan of Lovecraftian horror. Bloodborne is my favorite video game. And so the Eldrazi fall right into that. So I like the Eldrazi a lot. But there's one aspect of the Eldrazi that really captured my attention. Nicol Bolas, we've talked about plenty. Mm-hmm. Love him.
Not enough.
He's my boy.
I don't know his deal.
Yeah, we need to talk about him. And we'll probably get into it in this episode. But Nicol Bolas, who is the arch-villain of the current storyline, It's all coming to a head in War of the Spark, coming up pretty soon. The Eldrazi were released, these Lovecraftian world-eating monsters, released because Nicol Bolas planned for them to be released. He conspired to have 3 planeswalkers go to Zendikar, unlock the magical lock that was keeping them in prison, and he unleashed the Eldrazi onto the multiverse. And I'm passionate about it because I want to know why he would have done that. 1,
what the fuck are Eldrazi?
Okay. So the Eldrazi, just a brief recap of what they are. They're Lovecraftian monsters, so think Cthulhu, think...
Okay.
They're unknowable. In the magic lore, they live between the planes, so everything lives in these worlds. They live between in this hostile, roiling, chaotic environment. That's their home.
Okay.
And the way they're described, I like this description, is that when an Eldrazi appears on a world, it's like a projection of them. Their full being is not on the world. Like, it doesn't fit there. So what you're seeing is like one dimension of them or something like that. You look like you couldn't hate anything more right now.
I don't know. Keep talking. We'll find out if I can hate anything more.
All right. So brief interlude here. 2 things. Okay. So you're acting like you don't like that. You like the Bloodborne lore. You haven't played it, but you like the story.
Okay.
And you like talking about the idea of the great old ones, ancient beings that are kind of unknowable, ascended beings living beyond our conception. And also, Evangelion plays with a lot of the same ideas, right? Ascended beings, ascending past humanity. So my interpretation, the Eldrazi, they live in the spaces in between. They're creatures that have somehow ascended beyond what we know about magic. And that's represented in the game, that they're colorless creatures. They're not artifacts. They've evolved beyond the colors of magic. Why are you laughing at this? Don't laugh at my dreams. Amber.
Sorry. Don't laugh at my dreams. This is what you dream about.
It's really cool.
I'm sorry. I'm just a sad little cockroach that doesn't understand this.
We're all sad little cockroaches compared to the Eldrazi. That's the thing.
I'm okay. So like you're a cockroach, but I'm like sub cockroach.
You're a cockroach to my cockroach. You're
like I'm a mite on a cockroach. Yeah.
But a microbe could kill a cockroach. Okay, so anyway, so the Eldrazi, they're unknowable entities that live beyond our conception, and they're like Galactus. You familiar with Galactus from the comics? He eats worlds.
I'm sorry. I just imagine like you introducing me to Galactus, and you're like, Amber, this is Galactus from comics.
Hi, I'm Galactus. Sorry. I'm from comics.
From comics.
You know my work.
Please continue.
You know my work from comics. So he's a cosmic entity, and the only food that's big enough to fill his big tummy is an entire planet full of magic. That's the Eldrazi. They eat planets. They eat planes.
Okay. All right.
And so the Eldrazi are threats to the entire multiverse because they're just ravenous and they just eat up worlds. And so if they're just left to their own devices, they're just going to eat up everything. And this is why I'm like, why my question is, why did Bolas let them free? Because they are just as much a problem for him as anybody else. If they eat the multiverse, there's no multiverse to be king of.
How old's Nicol Bolas?
25,000 years old.
And in relation to dragons, how old is that? Like, if we're gonna scale it on like a human scale,
what
is he? Is that like what is he in human years? Maturity wise? Is he like a teen? Is what I'm getting at? Is he like a raging like hormonal teen?
No.
Is he like a 70-year-old man?
It's hard to say. In the lore, I'll say this: in the lore, he's other than like the Eldrazi, these kind of ageless things. He's speculated to be one of the oldest beings in the multiverse.
Okay.
So he's been around for a long, long time.
And you said that he was used to being a god.
Yes. And
now he's no longer god. Yes. And he's all upset about that.
He wants to have his godlike powers again.
I remember you were texting me when I was like probably shopping or something, and it was like, hey, I'm like, hey, like, so tell me about Nicol Bolas. Does he have like siblings or something? And I'm like joking around, and you're like, yeah, he's like the youngest.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's funny. And then you're like, started naming names. And I'm like, wait, are you making this up right now? And you're like, no, this is not my fan fiction. This is like literally, this is the lore. So is he the whiny youngest baby who never got his way?
Yeah, I think that's a good summary of it. So I was sending you these names, and it I imagine you were looking at these names the same way I was looking at your text about Sarah Angel. She's an old plainsman.
She's a dang old plainsman.
She's spark of. Yeah,
I was getting these names, which remind me, what are these names?
So some of his siblings are Palladius Moors.
Wait, what?
Palladius
That's a name.
Moors.
Was that a door?
Vecti, Arcades Sabbath, which is like Black Sabbath, but a different version of it.
Arcades.
Okay,
let's see if I can remember. Can I name these back to you?
Yep.
Potato salad.
You're not trying.
Illustrious palicide.
Illustrious palette swap.
What was the other ones?
Vivectus Asmati.
Vivector Ozymandias. Ozymandias.
Chromium.
Ooh, that one's easy. Chromium.
Woo! There we go. She likes that one.
3 syllables. Chromium.
Yeah, so basically, in ancient time, imagine in a time ancient and bygone, the dragons were created from this being called the Dragon. It's like the dragon god. Gave birth to the dragons. They fell to the earth. These elder dragons, these first dragons. And the youngest of them was actually a twin dragons that fell together. Nicol Bolas.
Oh, he's got a twin.
And Ugin. What's funny about Ugin? Vivectus Asmati, Palladius Moors, I accept that they're weird names. What's weird about Ugin?
He's got a raw end of a stick, like the short end of a stick, man.
As far as names go?
Yeah. Here's...
Oh, my fucking God.
Fuck off. Let me enjoy this. This is entertaining for me. Ugin. I am Ugin.
But you're presenting him as like a troglodyte. He's very wise. He's very wise.
So imagine
Ugin the spirit dragon. That's cool, right? Spirit dragon? That's kind of neat. That's pretty neat. This episode is nothing but you laughing at me, and I bet it's our most popular episode we've ever had.
It's because when you take the lore and you're just like you're not immersed in it. Like you have like imagine you're telling this to like your dad.
Yes, that's a good analogy.
And then you're like trying to get me to take it seriously, and I'm like, Ugin.
Yes, this is. I mean, I've mentioned this before, where it's like I think good magic storytelling and good D&D storytelling, when you relate what the actual story is,
yes,
like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Like I can't help but like imagine, like you're like, why can't you accept these Eldrazi because you like Ava and like Bloodborne stuff? And I'm just like, well, because it's also in a world where there's like zombies and like a artifact and like goblins and a woman who just poops angels and then has another angel wipe her butt after she's done pooping the one out.
She poops out her own toilet paper, essentially.
Yeah, so like basically the angel comes out and wipes her butt on the way out.
Her wings and
then the wings dry.
Caress. The ass. Angel soft.
Oh!
Oh, fan theory.
My arms became the wacky inflatable tube arms.
They became Eldrazi tentacles.
There you go. So anyway, so you like put that in with like literally like, oh, there's like a pain demon who sparked, and then also a vampire he wants to kiss.
It's just
it's
such
like
a
it's just so much stuff crammed into it.
Yeah.
Then there's like a pirate adventure, and then there's
pirate dinosaur adventure.
There you go. It's like
jumping the shark.
Shocked crab.
Yeah.
That's a shout out for Danny.
I think, yeah, you're right. And also just the fact, as you're saying, there's a difference between like experiencing it directly, like the media or the story directly, and having someone recount it. It's like trying to explain a dream to somebody.
Yes.
To bring it back to dreams. It's like, I can't communicate what this means to me.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so...
Nevertheless, so... Coming back to the story, Nicol Bolas, we know his plan. He wants to become a god again. He's got this whole shit going on Ravnica where he's going to trap planeswalkers there and dump a horde of Egyptian zombies in there and lock it closed. And his plan, we don't know what his plan is, but maybe he's going to eat a bunch of sparks and try to get his godhood back. Given all of that, why does he want to release Eldrazi?
Wait, he already released them, or is he doing it?
He already did it.
Oh, okay.
Did it ages ago.
So I
say ages. He did it like 8 years ago in the lore. I don't know how long it's been.
Well, think about let's just think about it like from a story, like a completely like plot aspect. Like I would see it as either a distraction or he has something that will put them back in after something happens. You know, using the planes, maybe he's going to use the planeswalkers to like deal with them, and a lot of them are going to die that way. I don't fucking know, but that's what I would use it as, for as like a plot. Like it would be distraction, or I already have something up my sleeves to take care of it. Like, why would you do something unless you already had a backup plan for taking care of it after that we just don't know about?
Right. That's why I think it's interesting. Like, so the distraction thing, I don't really buy because what does he need a distraction for?
For fun.
Well, he's like, so the people it's distracting are the Gatewatch, are Jace and Chandra and Gideon and all those lot who are trying to oppose Nicol Bolas. But Nicol Bolas, he's already shit on these guys in Amonkhet. He just put them in the trash can and was like making fun of them. There's a whole cycle of cards about each one of these planeswalkers getting shit on by Nicol Bolas.
Ooh.
We should look at those sometime. But yeah, there's a cycle of like, it's called like Liliana's defeat. Like Chandra's defeat, Jace's defeat, stuff like that. And,
I like that.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that. You'll like the Jace's one.
I kind of like am feeling really close to Nicol Bolas. Just like I hate planeswalkers, so
yeah. Even though you are one,
that's
actually amazing.
I'm not a planeswalker. What are you talking about?
You're a flightless bird. You're a dodo. You're a rock.
What are you talking about?
It's a callback, dude.
To what?
You're distracting me. Let me talk.
You've been talking this entire time. Let me talk.
So coming back, so I don't think it's a distraction, but I do like your idea that maybe he has a way to deal with it already.
Yeah, it's called Eat Them himself.
That's interesting. What a twist that would be if we get to War of the Spark and the Eldrazi show up.
And he eats them.
That'd be insane.
Because he's made a dimension. He's made a plane in his stomach.
Welcome to the potato plane.
Oh, man. Oh.
Welcome to potato hell.
If I was a planeswalker, oh my god. The shit I would do.
The shit I would take afterwards.
What kind of shit you would take after eating an Eldrazi?
I just took a colorless dump.
I hate everything but love it all so much. What are you going to say? Does it matter?
Yeah, it does. I think, so he has this artifact we've talked about, the Immortal Sun, which is the thing that's going to like cage people in. Planeswalkers can't leave. Eldrazi can pass between the planes too. What if he's going to use this to kind of like what if he could use that to trap them? Like, he's not worried about the Eldrazi because he's like, I know of this artifact. I can keep them wherever I want to once I have it. So just let them loose, cause some chaos.
Like a Pokeball.
Yeah, like a Pokeball.
Is this when there's going to be a Pokemon trading card game and Magic the Gathering card game crossovers?
I mean, we've already got Transform as a mechanic, so we've got evolutions covered.
Oh my gosh, I'm ready for it.
Me too. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know why Nicol Bolas did that. If you want my honest opinion on why he did it because Wizards for a while, just anytime something bad happened, they're like, ooh, we should who's behind it? It's Nicol Bolas.
Don't worry about it.
They weren't really thinking about why. The Phyrexians were invading places and Nicol Bolas was involved somehow. He sent Tezzeret over there. He's got his hands in every pie. They're just eventually we'll try to bring some of these together.
Maybe they're... What was that? Did I do that face?
No, I did that face.
Maybe this is too stupid for the world. What? Did you see me second guess it in my head?
Maybe.
I don't even remember. I don't even know where I was going with this. What did you say that made me go maybe? Something about Eldrazi.
I was talking about the Phyrexians. He sent Tezzeret over to see. He had his hands in all these pies. The Immortal Sun trying to trap the Eldrazi.
It's gone. It's broken. Absolutely gone.
Broken.
You made a horrible face and it just blasted the thought right out of my mind.
It's nice to know that I have that power.
I have no idea. Oh!
Okay.
Is there Eldrazi cards?
Yes. Was that the whole thing?
No!
I'm taking my glasses off right now.
I'm sorry. Let's end this podcast because I have nothing else to say.
Okay. We'll come back to Eldrazi. You still had questions about Nicol Bolas. I mean, he'll come back up.
Whatever.
Especially War of the Spark. He'll come back
Does he smoke cigarettes?
Of course.
Okay. Cool.
He's very edgy.
Sweet. Does he have a trench coat?
He's got a trench coat. He's got a Fedodo.
Does he have a motorcycle?
He has a unicycle.
Don't do this to me.
So yeah, we'll come back to the Eldrazi because, as I said, Lovecraftian stuff. I'm endlessly fascinated. There's plenty of stuff to say there. There's a whole plot line about how some of the Eldrazi were killed. Maybe one of the Eldrazi's been trapped in a moon on Innistrad. That's the thing that happened.
That sounds very you.
Yeah. So we'll get into that.
All right. Cool.
So unenthused in every way. You say that you did more laughing this episode than in any previous episode.
I don't think so. I'm always laughing in my heart, Kenny.
Oh my god. No, you're dead inside.
It's so true.
Okay, so that's us. We're at RedBlueMTG on Twitter. You can email us redmagebluemage@geekspective.com. You can find me at Wolfmere on Twitter.
You can find me at Rocket Orca on Twitter.
And until next time, very soon we will be playing our first actual games on Red Mage Blue Mage. So stay tuned. The next couple episodes for that. It's going to be very sweet.
Thank you for not saying lit.
That's going to be lit AF.
I said thank you for not saying that. Anyway.
That's why I said it.
Oh, all right.
See you guys next time. Bye!
We're not going to do the thing?
What thing?
That's end of turn for us.
And I've got the bolt. See you guys next time.
I don't want to represent Counterspell.